Hello everybody and welcome back to the VTuber football tournament, the VFT for short. Semi-final round time, ladies and gentlemen, and a little special, little spice added into this. I am going to be commentating most of these games kind of quiet because it is pretty late here. I mean, it is very late here. And I unfortunately was a little too busy to do this during the actual daytime itself. But I wanted to get this over with. And round 3 is long overdue at this point. So here we are. 4 teams remaining, 2 of them will be eliminated today. The other 2 will be moving on to face off against each other in the final game. Now, I have written down a lot, okay, for this round. And the numbers are looking very, very nice in Petra's favor, as we're going to be watching Petra's game first, obviously. Petra and Takeshi taking on each other. Looking at the matchup here really quickly, Petra is coming into this game as once again the underdog, but she has faced off in the same exact storyline twice already before. This time, I think it may be a little different because if I look at Takeshi, look at his offense and compare it to Petra's defensive numbers, I think that's a bit more stacked than what Petra had to go through with Utica in the same thing. Now, the thing is, though, is that Takeshi does give off a little scary in terms of the same thing on the other side of the spectrum. Petra's offense could probably decimate Takeshi's defense. And I will go over a lot of these statistics and stuff like that as the games roll on, and you will find out that Petra does have one of the strongest offenses in all of the VFT. And Takeshi's gonna have to pull some strings in order to make it to the finals. The winner of this game will obviously face off against the winner of this game down here, which we will commentate later on. For now, let's get into the action. Get right into this action because, like I said, we got a lot to talk about. And we got a lot of time to talk about it that I don't want to spend too much time in the menus, obviously. Lots of stuff going on right now, especially in these next few days, because we're going to find out who the best VTuber football team is, at least out of these 16 teams. And we're getting ready for this contest. You'll look at the clock once more as I pull up our famed little scoreboard at the top left, or at least part of it. You'll notice on the time that we have 2 extra minutes once again added into the clock. So last round was 10 minutes per quarter. This round will be 12. On the finals, we will have 15-minute quarters. So we still have, like I said, we got a lot of time, especially now with 2 extra minutes added into the picture. Adrian Peterson, one of the best running backs so far, at least heading into today's game. Now, while I continuously talk about how good the running game has been, we really cannot stress enough about the passing game, and these 2 teams have had a good time with the passing game, especially Petra. As we kick it off to here, Takeshi will get the ball to start things off, so we'll see what Takeshi can do in the beginning. Takeshi has had all games go his way at home. Petra as the away team, technically. Petra wins this game, she will go into the finals as the away team for the 4th consecutive game. Kick is off, fielded at the 12, and a little bit of broken space. Breaks a tackle, hurdles a man, and Takeshi's gonna start past midfield. Now that is one thing we saw a lot of in round 2, is that Petra and Fujikura were trading off special team plays, top tier special team plays. Takeshi looks like he wants to add his name to that picture as they start at the Petra 45-yard line, past midfield. That's not often we see that. Brady to give to McAfee, who will gate about 2 on that play. Or at least I think that's McAfee. I'm not looking so much at the rosters today, and I'm going off of muscle memory, which isn't very easy for me to do because of the fact that not only is it dark in here and I don't have a light. Yeah, that was McAfee on the carry there. That gained them 3 on that play. We'll see what they do on this next play here. Back to him, who will spin move out of the first tackle and get a first down out of it. Not bad of a run. McAfee, I stress a lot about the passing game, but McAfee and Adrian Peterson are 2 of the best running backs that we have so far in the game. And we will see arguably the best later on. After that big run, 1st and 10, Takeshi already in scoring range, barring anything wacky happening. Caught. He's got a big run, and Takeshi strikes first with a touchdown. Well, I did say he was in scoring range, and he definitely was with that one. David Boston on the catch and run for the touchdown. What a way to start this event. Takeshi starting off strong, putting 7 on the board already in the early going. I did say that this game was going to be highly offensive at the end of the second round, and it's living up to the name right now because Takeshi just immediately came out of the gate and scored on not only his first drive, didn't even look like they struggled at all. They'd had 1 rushing play, which was a gain of 3, and then everything else after that was a double-yard gain. Double-digit yard gain, I should say. That one fielded at the 4 and down at the 26, I believe. Not a good start for Petra compared to Takeshi. Now, I did talk about the stats and stuff like that. I did write a lot. And I'm going to try and get through as many of these as I can. That was Takeshi's 7th passing touchdown this entire tournament. To pass, and that's a good catch right there. That'll gain them a lot. Right at the 43, 44-yard line. Good pass there. Takeshi and Petra come into this game both with 6 passing touchdowns. Now Takeshi has his 7th. Petra has the most amount of total yards in all of the VFTs so far, with a whopping 1,298 coming into today. And Takeshi only with 992. Highly offensive games, as you can tell. Another deep pass over to the left, but that one well scouted by the cornerback and batted down incomplete. Not bad of a couple plays for Petra's offense. That batted down pass looked to be very, very close to being not only caught, but maybe broken for another 6 or 7 points on the board in Petra's favor. However, instead of that, it is 2nd down and 10, and they will give it to Peterson, who will gain 3, if not 4. Another thing I want to talk about real quick is the fact that Petra is coming into this game with 5 total penalties, whereas Takeshi only has 1 called on him. Or at least accepted, I should say. Probably a lot more, but like some of them denied. Another pass play there. That one's caught. Taken down at the 2nd attempt to tackle. Down at the 36. That one caught by Boris. And that was another big gain for Petra. Into scoring territory for 3 points, but the last time I said that was literally moments ago, and Takeshi scored 7, so we'll see if this fate still holds up in Petra's favor. Shotgun formation, want to call Pepper's favorite formations, at least from the tournament, because that's what he usually calls for whenever he goes big. He's looking for another pass, he's looking deep. Had a man open, but the man just could not get that in his hands. I think that was Boris, the intended receiver. Instead, 2nd down. Now, do remember, I did say that this game was possibly going to be highly scoring, considering that these two are highly offensive fronts, and it looks to be that way. That one right there, quite a short gain, or at least well short of the first down marker. Let's see if Takeshi's defense can hold Petra. Petra has, let me look real quick. Petra has 37 total first downs, actually 40 right now, if she gets this. Peterson with a lot of space on the left side, gets the first down easily, breaks 2 tackles, gets tackled on the 3rd attempt inside the, like that was inside the 15-yard line, inside the 15, maybe the 10. It looks like inside the 10. And Petra has a chance to even up the score. Just outside the 10-yard line, it looks like. But yeah, anyways, that was Petra's 40th total first down in all of the tournaments so far as of this moment. And it looks like they have a chance to get 41 if they are stopped well short of the touchdown. And to the end zone, picked off. Wow. I didn't write this stat down because I didn't think this was actually going to be happening. That was Culpepper's first interception thrown. Petra was coming into this game perfect with turnovers. They only had 1 fumble lost heading into today, no interceptions thrown. That changed. Now they're 1 for interceptions thrown and 1 for fumble losses. Things change quickly here in the VTuber football tournament, let me tell you that. Takeshi's defense isn't really even that great. It's not even the best defense, at least out of the 4 that are still remaining in the tournament, but they showed up right there, especially near the end of there. Now the only thing is that Takeshi needs to score on this drive, which he may. Oh, McAfee gave them a little bit of hope right there. A little bit of space over on the left side of that playing field, but instead just stopped about 4 yards shy of the first down. Takeshi with first downs has 33 first downs. I think after that last drive, I think that's 30. It'd be 35 if they get at least 4 on this next play, which again goes back to McAfee. A little bit of space, enough space for 4 yards and more, and gets a ton on that last run. 33 total yards on rushing so far from McAfee out of 4 rushes, which is incredibly great comparing it to all the other running backs that I have seen, with the exception of Malcolm's running game, pretty much. And maybe 1 or 2 other teams, just to be on the safe side of things. Brady back to pass. He found a man, stopped about 1 yard or 2 short of the first down marker. However, a good pass there nonetheless. Yeah, they will be about 1 yard short of the first down this time by, but they are past midfield once again. All drives so far today have gone into enemy territory, whether or not they've ended up in scores or not. Granted, this is only a 3rd total drive compared, combining the 2 teams, with a lot more still to come. Brady looking deep, and he's got it. Boston, who caught the touchdown earlier, just got them inside the 15-yard line, stopped at the 11. I'm telling you, David Boston and Tom Brady are the best combination you can get. Because whenever they hook up, it's always something big. That's the one thing I've noticed with those 2. They connect and they get somewhere. Every time. Every time. David Boston, I got to look up how many touchdowns he's gotten so far. McAfee with a run up the middle, breaks 1, stops short of not only the first down, but also the end zone. They're about 1 yard shy of first down, but they're also 2 yards shy of getting 7 on the board once more. Takeshi's looking really strong so far, and this was not really a surprise, but also a little bit of one at the same time, especially how early it is in the going. Brady to look short, and he's got one open, touchdown. Wide open in the end zone. Takeshi's up by 13 at the moment. That was Walls on the catch. I'm telling you, this offense is looking stellar so far, especially because that was now Takeshi's 8th passing touchdown. The point after is good. 14-0 so far in the early going. all set up from the first interception thrown in Petra's entire existence in the VFT as of this moment. That's kind of crazy, though. I did not expect this kind of matchup early in the going. Granted, we still have 5.5 minutes left in the first quarter. We are just over halfway in the first quarter. Fielded at the 5, breaks a tackle there and gets out little more than the first intended tackle, down to, I think, the 31-yard line. 32, exactly. We saw a lot of crazy special teams action in the round 2 game between Petra and Fujikura. It looks to be kind of going in that way right now with the... Oh, wow, what a tackle. That was a good defensive stop there. That barely was a gain of 1, but back to the point before that I was trying to make. Special teams really showing strong here so far for both teams. Now, granted, Petra is struggling a little bit in the early going. However, they were struggling in the early going as well against Fujikura in the special teams. It took them a little while before they kicked it into high gear. Pepper to pass. Little bit of time, and he's got a man wide open on the right side of the field. What a throw. What a route by that. I think that was Peterson. Yes, it was on the catch. I was going to say, what a route by the wide receiver, but that was not even the wide receiver. That was the running back. That was Peterson who ran that wheel route. And just, what a beautiful, beautiful catch. Give it to Peterson, who will run up the gut. And I think that's a face mask call, and I am right. Peterson on both the tackle and, yeah. I literally just mentioned about how Takeshi only has like 1 penalty called against him. That's his second. And that small gain will instead turn into a big gain as it's now 2nd and 2. 4 minutes left in the first. Petra needing a touchdown to stay in this game. And they'll toss back to Peterson, who will try to get something. He gets something. He got something. What a play by Peterson. He broke 1 tackle, spun out of another, and bounced off a 3rd tackler before finally going down. That was great. Peterson can be very good in both the passing and running game. So far, it's working to almost perfection. Almost. It has been perfect so far today. At least as of the moment. Give it back to Peterson, who will run, spin. No, that's Hurst. That's Hurst on the carry and gets another first down. It looked like that was Peterson, but nope, that was Hurst. Well inside the 10 now, right at the 7. Give it, well, actually 6.5-yard line. Last time they were in this position, they threw an interception right at the worst possible time. Let's see if they cannot repeat that. Back to pass to the end zone. Touchdown. The complete opposite of what happened the last time. Now Petra's on the board with 6 on that one. Good pass there. I told you it was going to be highly offensive. Right now, we have 21, well, actually technically 20, but pending the extra point, 21 total points scored in just 10, not even, 9 minutes of football action. I'm telling you, this is starting to look pretty highly offensive, which is what I figured was going to happen at the end of round 2 when I was making my round 3 predictions. Now, I will not really be completely correct on my predictions unless the next game is highly defensive. If the game is highly defensive, then I'm telling you, we're going to have a very, very tight game in the finals. Whoever it may be. It may be Takeshi or it may be Petra. I cannot tell you exactly at this moment. Takeshi is up right now by 7 points. Both drives he started really well and drove down the field. But this time, I wouldn't count anything out because it has happened many times before where the trailing team at the end of the first quarter, or even at the end of the second quarter, sometimes the third will just come back from unbelievably high deficits. To be honest, the fact that Takeshi's in this spot right now is even crazy to begin with, because Takeshi was up by 31 points, 33 points if I remember correctly, over top of Sanya, and he almost lost the entire game in the fourth quarter. The team did not show up at all during the third quarter and the fourth quarter, and it nearly bit them. Granted, Sanya did not have enough time to come back from those 33 points, but she got down to 3 points. It was very close for some reason. I don't know how, but Takeshi needs to build up a gap here and needs to keep it for the remainder of this game. And I think they got a first down out of that. And McAfee, yeah, I would not be surprised the way that McAfee was bounced around like that. McAfee injured on that play. Probably Takeshi's best weapon as of this moment, so they have to go to Damian Anderson, the backup running back, who I don't think I've really talked so much about. Oh! Almost a sack there. But Brady survives, gets the ball out, and it's second down. I really like to try and get as much stats out as possible, so let's talk about rushing touchdowns. Takeshi only has 1 rushing touchdown, and Petra only has 3, so the rushing game is really good, but not when trying to score points. Oh, Brady throws an interception there. Not looking good now for Takeshi. That even puts Petra in great range for possibly getting the game back into her favor. They start at the Takeshi 44-yard line. Culpepper to pass, and he's looking deep over the right, and incomplete. He almost had a man wide. He almost had one, but Kelly with the deflection makes the ball fall to the turf. Interesting here, as now both teams have traded an interception in the early going of this matchup, which is surprising as well because Takeshi doesn't have as many interceptions as... Well, actually, I say that. Petra only came into this game with 1 fumble that she lost as a turnover. That was it. It's another penalty. I think that might be, another face mask call. Takeshi is not looking good so far, as that's now his 3rd penalty. Second of today's game, 3rd in the entire tournament. Not looking good so far. That's given Petra more first downs to add to the stats column. What's also hurting Takeshi in this situation is that Petra's coming into this game with the most points per game and not even close to second place. At least when I say second place, I mean out of the 4. Peterson can stop there. Petra's coming into this game with 44.5 points per game, whereas Takeshi only has 32. And he's 3rd, technically, out of the 4 teams that we have left. The next person below Petra in second would be Malcolm, who has 34.5 points per game. Curious to see how those two would play out in the finals, and that may actually happen. You never know. I think that was Warren Sapp on the tackle there, so it's 3rd and long for Petra's offense. Stalled out at the 30-yard line as of this moment. They need to get to the 22 to continue this drive. Which, by the way, let's watch this play happen first before I say this stat. Pass play coming. Over the middle, wide open, first down, no problem for Petra's offense. Which is not very... I expected it. You want to know why? Because coming into today's game, Petra, in all of her 3rd down situations, has converted 72% of her 3rd down conversions. Takeshi's 2nd out of the 4 that we have left today with only 54%, so it's a flip of the coin. Whereas Petra, it's more like she could probably get it. Looking for the end zone. Oh, deflected and intercepted. That one wasn't even, that was not even Dante's fault. That was just deflected off of the receiver's hands and right into the middle. I think that was the linebacker's hands. This game's becoming very a mixed bag of both offensive and defensive because we got 21 total points going into the second quarter, but we also have 3 total turnovers. Both teams have traded turnovers. All of them interceptions as of this moment. And right now Takeshi holds the lead. But these offenses really need to start kicking in the high gear here and try to not make these mistakes. Brady back to pass, screens it over to McAfee, who loses about 3 on that one. Not a very good pass play there. I think that was a screen pass they were trying to set up, and they could not get that set up well. Again, like looking at all the offensive statistics, it's a very big surprise that these two offensive powerhouses are kind of struggling at the moment. Back to pass. Short pass here to David Boston. He will definitely not make it to the first down marker. And that's a 3 and out for Takeshi. Coming off of what should have been a very fatal interception by Petra. They get lucky. They get lucky on this one. Because remember, coming into today's game, Petra's coming into today with almost 1,300 total yards, with Takeshi almost 1,000 total yards. And the other two teams, Malcolm only has 930 total yards, whereas Kalia only has 800 total yards. So these two offensive powerhouses do have somewhat of an advantage over both Malcolm and Kalia. But they're both struggling quite a lot so far. I mean, right now it's only the second quarter, and I do think things will change as we get into the second... Oh my, there goes my notes. I think things will change as we get into the second half, obviously. Good pass there. That's another first down. Again, I do expect things to change as we get into the second half. It always does. Lots of crazy stuff happen in... Lots of stuff happens in the second half. That's what I've noticed. If they struggle in the first half, they bring in heavy machinery. Oh, what a play there. They bring out heavy machinery in the second half. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, it's been fairly highly offensive so far. Both teams almost have 200 total yards so far in the early going, and I believe that they'll easily get that as the game goes on, especially in the next couple minutes. Wobbly pass there, still caught, and enough for another first down for Petra. 3 straight completions there for the Culpepper. Keep in mind that Petra will more than likely convert a lot of her third downs. It's not very often you will see her not convert those. The only times you will... I think that's kind of why Takeshi's defense is really starting to like pick itself up and force turnovers that at this point, before heading into this game, haven't happened yet. 2 interceptions so far in the game. That's, again, Petra's first 2 interceptions in this entire tournament. Takeshi's defense is really trying to step up their game against a highly offensive powerhouse. Petra looking deep. Incomplete. It was a little short of the receiver there. So that's 3rd down and 10. Remember, coming into this game, Petra with 72% on their 3rd down conversions. The next person would be Takeshi with only 54%. Let's see if they convert this one here. Back to pass. Got it. Very easily with the grab down at the 36-yard line. I expected that because, again, the stats don't lie, and they're pretty good in Petra's favor there. And I believe that may have been Tomer on the catch, I think. So set up another 1st down and 10. Pepper looking. He's got a short reception there. Not a lot, but enough for, I believe, 5 or 6 on that play. A good chunk of yards. Out of that 6-yard gain. We're under the 9-minute mark right now. We'll quickly give it off to Peterson. We'll get a good amount of yards on that one and another first down. 12 total first downs added into the stat column for Petra. She came into today with 37, so right now she's just one more first down away from clicking into the 50s in first downs. Culpepper looks, almost threw another interception. Batted down by, I think that was Kelly once again. Kelly trying to show that they could be a pretty big powerhouse today, and it's looking pretty good so far. A little bit of batted down passes here and there. I think maybe got one out of the two interceptions so far, I believe. Can't tell. Back to pass. Pressure coming. Found a man. He broke one tackle. Gets another first down and gets into the 10-yard line. First and goal for Petra. Touchdown here would make this a tie game at 14 apiece. And Takeshi, who started off very, very strong with 2 offensive drives. Their first 2 offensive drives going for touchdowns. They've been struggling ever since. End zone nearly caught, but batted down. Incomplete. Second down coming up. Defense is trying all they can to make this offense not score anything. 2 interceptions, both times. Passes in the end zone, by the way. See what happens here. Another batted down pass, so now it's 3rd and 10. But this is common territory for Petra, and the last 3rd and 10 was little recently in the drive, and they converted it. Let's see if they can convert it here. You know that they're going to bring the bodies in the back of the end zone there in the defense. Let's see if they bring enough. He's going to obviously look for the end zone. Oh, touchdown. Barely got it in there, but it's a touchdown for Petra. 1 point away from putting this game back into her range. It was a very close pass there. Very tightly contested between the one-on-one on the receiver and cornerback. But instead, it results in 7. And Petra brings the game back into her range with a 14-14 score so far. Tomer with the catch. Tomer is definitely one of Petra's best wide receivers. She is, because Tomer has caught a lot of Petra's passing touchdowns. Which, by the way, since all of the touchdowns so far today have been passing touchdowns, Petra and Takeshi have 8 passing touchdowns as of this moment. Fielded at the 6. A little bit of space. Big hit there down at the 27. Last few times that Takeshi's offense has been out, it hasn't been very good. 3 and outs, interception. They need something to hear to kickstart something if they want to get to the finals. We'll give it to McAfee, who'll get 3 on that one. Even though Takeshi's offense has been struggling, in terms of the rushing attack, McAfee has been better than Peterson. However, Peterson has been really good in the passing game so far. And I don't know how much McAfee has played a factor into the passing game so far in Takeshi. They'll go once more to McAfee, who will get a lot more than a first down. Big run play there, and that'll get them closer to where they need to be. Clock is ticking. Under 7 minutes left in the half. Single back with a tight end in motion. Let's see what they go for here. Probably another run play since it worked once before. At that time not. Losing about 2 on that one. Good stop there by the defense. That'll bring up second and a little longer than 10 yards there. Takeshi struggling so far in the second quarter. They started off really strong here with getting a really good run back to start the game off, bringing them past midfield. scored a touchdown, and then intercepting Petra, and then driving down the field and getting a touchdown. And now they're going to be faced with a 3rd and I believe 15 on that last run play with another big loss there. So look for a big pass play coming up. Takeshi is once again a flip of the coin when it comes to the 3rd down conversions. 3rd down conversions for Takeshi is a 54%, especially in long range distances, not very likely. Ugh, nearly picked off, nearly sacked, and still fell to the turf. So it's 4th down for Takeshi. It looks so bright out of the first few plays of the drive, looked so good. And then it stalled out very quickly, and now they're sending Miller back out to punt the ball back to Petra. Game is still in grasp of Takeshi as long as their defense can make one more stand. Fair catch called at the 18. So Takeshi will have Petra pinned back a little deep in her own territory. Question is can their defense stop them? 5.5 minutes left in the second quarter, I should say. Defense shifting. They'll give it to Peterson. Hole up the middle, and he's got about 6, maybe 7 on that play. That put Peterson at 44 total yards for rushing out of 9 attempts. Again, McAfee doing better out of the 2 running backs so far in the early going. Question is whether or not McAfee can really hold a candle towards Peterson in the passing game. So Peterson's doing better passing than rushing so far in this early going as well. Lots of bodies on the defensive line for this pass play here. A little bit of time, and that'll give them enough time to get a 1st down at the 44-yard line. Petra once again driving down the field. It's curious to note, though, how well executed a lot of these passes have been for Petra. A little bit of pressure coming, and they can still get off some of these 1st down pass plays. Especially some of them where they're under pressure and they get the not so tight spiral of a pass. Oh, nearly intercepted there. That one should have been picked off. Harrison nearly had the 3rd interception right in his hands, but it just fell down. I'm going to predict that that's going to bite the defense on the butt. Unless they come out of the gate out of these next few plays and get another turnover. Because you know that if they're going to go back to the passing game, Dante's going to look harder next time. Toss it to Peterson. Gets nothing. And we have seen Hurst, the backup running back for Petra, come out and make a big run play earlier. So even if Peterson's not working, you could always rely on Hurst to try and possibly get some yards. 3rd and 10 coming up. 2 of these exact same plays happened last time out. Both times were converted. Let's see if they can do it again in this drive. Oh, never mind. That's going to be a little harder to do when you commit a false start penalty.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense. That's a 5-yard penalty.
Coming into today, Petra and Kylia are tied with the most penalties in the tournament. That was 5. Right now, Petra's in the lead, which you don't want to be in the lead for those penalty stats, by the way, with 6 committed penalties. Pass play, looking for 15. No, they looked for a screen, and they cannot get that working. I guess they were trying to go for a screen because they knew that they were not going to be able to convert all 15 yards, so they're going to try and see if they can get anything out of a screen pass to set up a big punt, but it didn't work. So that's understandably so, especially, I think if they didn't commit that false start penalty, they would have had something big in their head, I believe. They're going to try and run it back, and he got up to about the 30. He broke the initial tackle, which I assumed would have brought them down to like 26, 27, but he was able to run it back for about a couple yards, get out to the 30. However, Takeshi's offense has been struggling quite a lot as of this moment, and they need to start kickstarting something now if they want to stay in this game. Because Petra's offense can only be held for so long before they actually really start going haywire. Pass to Boston, I believe, and that was a gain of 9. Boston, who caught 1 touchdown earlier. No, that was actually Brown. Sorry. Brown with the catch. And a gain of 2 there. Back to pass. Wide open man on the left. Gets a first down there. If he broke that tackle, that would have been big. That would have been big. That was Walls on the catch there. They're getting real close to the Petra territory once more, which they have not been able to cross into for quite some time. And time's starting to become a factor here in this one because once they get under 3 minutes, things are going to get a little dicey here on offense, both on Petra and Takeshi. Another batted down pass there will set up 2nd down and 10. Need about 5 yards at least to be in Petra territory, and they need 10 to continue the drive. Back to McAfee, who will get about 3 on that one. No more than that. Both running backs averaging roughly 5 yards per carry, maybe more if that. Which is still kind of good comparing that to a lot of the other running backs that I've had to see over the course of this tournament. Not a very good bunch of running games, I should say. But it's coming down to the point where running game's really going to start becoming a factor. Defense stops McAfee once more. Brings behind the line of scrimmage. And Takeshi cannot get back into Petra territory in this drive. 4th down. Petra's defense really looking strong so far, which is kind of expected, even though they gave up a lot of points in both of their games, because both games that Petra had to play, they're both some of the highest scoring games in all of the VFT so far, especially in her matchup against Fujikura, with both teams nearly getting into the 50s. Petra's defense can give up a lot of points. However, Petra's defense is still really good, at what they can do. That was caught, and I think that'll be a 1st down, I believe. Maybe if he was short, he's going to be barely short. They have the 2-minute warning, so the clock's going to stop anyway, and they give him the 1st down. It's been a really tight game so far in the early going, which I expected it, but I also expected it to be a little bit more higher scoring than what it is right now. Drop pass there in the hands of the receiver, but it was jarred loose by Kelly once again, making a big defensive stop. It took 3 seconds off the clock. Now remember as well, Takeshi will have to kick the ball back off to Petra to start off the 2nd half. So Petra would love to get at least 3 points on the board before this quarter ends. No matter what, Takeshi has to kick the ball off to Petra. So if Petra can score something here, she can probably score something coming out of the 2nd half. First half, I should say. I did say this game was going to be very, very offensive heavy, and I'm not saying it's not, but it's more defensive than I thought. Especially with Petra coming into the game with a lot of points under her belt. Petra looking for a big gain, and she gets it. Big 1st down there. I think they may run they may run no huddle. And they do. They get out to the 37, which puts them decently in field goal range. Maybe a little bit more would be a little bit more comfortable. And they do get a little bit more there. Not a 1st down, but a gain of 8. And they're running out the clock here just a tad bit, even though they're running no huddle. 2nd and 3 coming up. Allowing players to get shifted up. Go back to the passing game. They do. Looking for some aggressive moves. They do. Oh, that was maybe a little too aggressive. 3rd and 3. That may have been a little too aggressive. Maybe a bit too aggressive. They get stopped here on this 3rd and short. They're going to have to kick it, but I don't know. They were able to convert 2 3rd and 10s earlier. They couldn't convert a 3rd and 15, but they're going to go with Dante's sneak, and they get a 1st down. Don't know if that was by design or not, but if that was by design, that was smart. Either way, that got them enough to get a first down. So they wasted some more of the clock. Oh, that's not going to work, though.
The visiting teams take the time.
Ooh, that's not going to work. Big sack like that's going to push them back quite a bit. 6-yard loss on that one. That's going to... Ooh. You don't usually see that. I don't usually see quarterbacks getting sacked that often. Pressure coming, and they get a lot of that yard, a lot of those yards back, but still going to be third and relatively short. I get 10 on that one. That pass play was really good, especially with all the pressure coming from behind. Defense shifts over. Bring a tight end in motion. The defense will shift back. Lots of defensive moving here. Got me a little concerned. Here comes pressure. Oh, best case scenario for Takeshi. What a play. Linebacker came in with the blitz, and that's what you're supposed to do on a third and short like that. Force, and they are gonna bring out the field goal unit. They are in decent field goal range. They didn't give me. I'm not saying any field goals give me. We've had a few missed field goals. The kick is up and straight down the pipe. Good. Petra's in the lead for the first time today. Up by 3 points. Takeshi's going to have to come out in 46 seconds to go from struggling to spectacular. I don't know how they're going to be able to do that, though. Now, they came out of the first 2 offensive drives with touchdowns. Literally every other drive has either ended in a turnover or a 4th down of some sorts. I don't think they've went past midfield ever since the interception. So Takeshi's gonna have to pull out something here in 42 seconds. Now they do have all 3 timeouts, so they could go down the field in somewhat slow fashion. Get a few first downs, but no more than 10 or 11 yards. But they need to drive down the field somehow. Looks for a man deep. Oh, what a pass. What a pass. Oh, my God. What a completed. That was perfect for them. That was perfect. Brown with the catch and a spectacular play. They are not in field goal range, but they are finally in Petra territory. And they only got, I think, 10 seconds off the clock on that play. Looking for another big one. They got it with McAfee, who will get several on that one. Several more than the first down that they needed. And now they're in field goal range. Plus, they got shoved out of bounds, which stops the clock at 29 seconds. So they can maybe do a couple run plays, run out the clock, or they could try to score 7 here. This is a pretty good looking drive so far. I had some doubts, but if they can capitalize off of those first 2 plays, maybe a good enough drive to... Oh, what a big hit there for McAfee. But that doesn't hurt them at all because they are well into field goal range. The point I was trying to make earlier is that I may have some hope for Takeshi's offense if they could come out of this drive with 3 points at least. Because I was starting to lose some hope into his offense. Maybe something here. Oh, wide open. Oh, miscommunication there. That was miscommunication. And that was probably detrimental because if he caught that, that would have been caught straight in. There was nobody in front of him and there was nobody in sight to tackle him. I think that might have been... Was that Boston on the something like that. Oh, that was... No, we lost it! No! Oh, man. I think that was Brown with the catch and the fumble. The man who brought the team up into enemy territory, and that's not good, especially now because Petra just has to come out, run out the clock. Oh, what a tackle. Doesn't mean anything because they're going to be coming out of this. Oh, that sucks. You absolutely hate to see that. If you were rooting for Takeshi, of course. Especially because, like, that didn't look like that was going to be a fumble, but, like, yeah. We do have cold weather here, so I guess grip is not as easy. We have seen dropped passes before today, so it is possible. Going into the second half of the game, Petra is up by only 3 points, and she will get the ball back to start the second half. And she may have an opportunity to be up by 10 if the drive goes perfectly for them. Both teams have traded 2 interceptions at least as of this moment, and I don't expect that number to stay that way. Actually, that wasn't even an interception. I should say turnovers, because that last one was a fumble. Looking for space and got a bit of space there. I think that was out to about the 34, 35-yard line. Yes, roughly close to it. So Petra is going to start off a lot better on this one than she would have had that drive continued after the fumble. They'll go with the pass, start things off. They have a man, missed 1 tackle. If he hit that 1 tackle, that would have only been about a gain of 2, but instead they're only going to be 2 yards short of the first down marker. About a yard and a half short of the first down marker after that pass. I formation set. Back to pass. Man open on the left. Oh, what is going on? That is the second time in the last few minutes I've seen a wide open receiver not look at the ball coming to them. It's not often. I really don't expect that a lot in this game. A lot of miscommunication going on both sides of the ball here. 3rd and short. Quick pass. Obvious first down there. That's what I've seen a lot from Petra's offense, is that you have to stop those curl routes. Because that's what that route was. That was a curl route. I think usually they have the tight ends run that. Get them out to the first down, past the first down marker, turn around. Because usually all the defenders will not be in that general vicinity. And that's how you get an easy first down on your 3rd and shorts if you do not go with the run play there. We'll go back with the pass. There's another first down catch there. Out to the 35-yard line into the Takeshi territory. 300 total yards offensively for Petra here. A lot of that coming in this drive. Well, actually, some of it, I should say. I think another 30 or 40 from this drive goes into that 300 number. I would say I'm surprised, but I'm really not. I'm expecting that number to almost double. Oh, that's an interception. Well, Takeshi's defense coming out strong so far. Let's see what both defenses are trying their absolute hardest. This is what I got to get. I'll give the defense a ton of credit. We've seen a ton of turnovers today. The offenses have been struggling. I don't know why. Toss to McAfee, who doesn't get any blockers on that. No gain on that play. This is one thing. It's like it is offensive. I'll give it this. Offensively, like both teams have been great. But the defenses have shown up a lot as well. With turnovers, interceptions, all the 9 yards, and sacks by both teams. Because now that was a big sack. This was more of a defensive game than I thought it was going to be, because especially when you look at the scores comparing the two teams. The fact that both teams are coming into today's game with the top 2 points per game. You would think that these two teams would be in the 30s by now, but they are like struggling hardcore. 3 and out for Takeshi once more. Their offensive start to the second half was not as well received as Petra's. Granted, Petra came out, had a great start to the drive, and then threw it all away, literally, with an interception. I mean, I don't know. I really question how close this game is going to get. That's fair catch was called at the 19, so pin back Petra behind the 20 once more. I mean, again, because like Petra won her game against Fujikura with a score of 55-48. Then the last game, Petra won with like 34-27, if I remember correctly. She's got, oh my god, that was close again. Petra has an opportunity here to really up the score if she could drive down the field, but for whatever reason, the defenses are really starting to show up. I'm not even saying this is Takeshi's defense, Petra's defense as well. Because both defenses, they aren't great, but today they're looking strong. Peterson stiff arms a man, spins a man, breaks one, breaks two, breaks... How many broken tackles was that? In the span of just a few seconds, because I think that was like 4 or 5. There was a 1-2 combo right there near the end of that play. That was a big run there by Peterson. That was definitely must-need for Petra's offense, as now they're inching closer back to Takeshi territory. That's crazy how both these offenses have been really struggling in the passing, but they aren't at the same time. Peterson with another carry. Oh, nearly stripped. That's Jammer's 6th tackle of today. Now we're down to less than 8 minutes left in the third quarter, and this is really close. I mean, granted, Petra's in the lead, and she has a couple... she needs maybe 1 or 2 more first downs to get into scoring range. Hurst will bring up one of those first downs, but they need another one. That is 21 first downs in this game so far for Petra. Coming into today, Petra only has how many again? Hold on. How many? 37. She's on track to breaking the amount of first downs that she's had in this entire tournament in one game. Holy hell, that is insane. Takeshi's not even getting double-digit first downs. Petra's about to get into the 30s. Good lord. You tell what I mean? Like, both teams are not really struggling offensively. It's just they make costly mistakes that obviously hurts them in more ways than one. Another first down here would not only be Petra's 28th of the game, but would put them in scoring range in terms of a field goal at least. Oh, missed bat. And he is gone. But not all the way. Big pass play there. That was a defensive blown coverage kind of play. And now, from where they were at the start of the drive at their own 19, they're now venturing into Takeshi's 19-yard line. Another first down here after that big pass play. Back to Peterson. Stiff arms. Breaks another tackle. 3. And another first down at the 5. 3 broken tackles there for Peterson. Give this man the MVP for the game. Like, I'm serious. If this drive ends in a touchdown here, you give Peterson that MVP for this drive, because he's done his fair share of work here. First and goal at the 5. Toss back to Peterson, I believe. And he'll lose 5. No, that was Hurst. That was Hurst on that carry, the loss of 5. It's not Peterson. Now it's second down, and I believe, yes, second and 11. Because now they're backed up to their 11-yard line. So I'm thinking passing here, I formation set. They're definitely going to try and pass in the end zone. Well, they're going to run it once more with Hurst, who will gain back the yards that he lost on the last run. So instead of it being a pass play for second short, they may set up 3rd and 5 for maybe a pass here. I wouldn't think they run it here because the defense is going to come with all the kinds of pressure they got, especially at the middle. So I would not assume a run play, but yeah, that's what I was thinking. To the end zone. Oh, big stop. Big stop by the defense. And that'll bring up 3rd down. That was a good stop by Takeshi's defense. Especially in this situation, if Mayer hits this field goal, which he hit one from 39, this one's a lot closer. They'll be up by 6. They got it. 71 yards down the field. Mayer kicks a field goal, and Petra's now up by a touchdown instead of a field goal. It's curious to see what Takeshi's offense can do here, because ever since scoring the first 2 touchdowns of today's game in their first 2 drives, they've struggled completely ever since. They get a good run back there out to the 26, 27 yard line. I say good, it could have been worse. But what they need to get is something going on this drive. Because if they don't get anything going on this drive, I don't think their defense can bail them out as much as they have been. Once again, defenses will wear out, especially near the end of the game. You need to get something going here. And Brady's looking deep. Oh, what a catch by Walls. Back into Petra territory with that play. That was, I think, a 40-yard pass completion right there. Good mercy, you don't see those very often in this game. That was good. That was a good pass. But I've seen this story happen before in this game. They have a good start to the drive, but something will always end up going wrong. Nothing on that McAfee run there. McAfee is not looking too good anymore in the rushing game after that last drive by Peterson. Peterson's looking great, both passing and rushing. Being able to be used as both weapons in both aspects. That's the kind of running back you want in your team. One that doesn't have to always be used as a running back, but also a wide receiver. They give it once more to McAfee, who will lose another 2 on that one. You got to think they got to go deep on this one. They got to go deep. If they don't, they're really not trying to win this game. The last 2 running plays have not worked at all. 3rd and 12. This quarter's gone by really quickly, just an FYI. At least in my opinion, it has. I didn't even realize it's 3.5 minutes left. Oh, lots of pressure. Ooh. Great defensive play. I usually say that a lot, but that was actually perfect. They pressured Brady to make a pass that shouldn't have been thrown. So now, even though they had that one amazing play to get them into Petra territory, they once again can't go any farther. And they have to give the ball back to Petra, who will start at the 20-yard line. Now you're getting into now you're relying a lot on your defense, and I don't know if your defense can really do this against Petra. Petra is the highest scoring team, the highest in 3rd down conversions, the highest in 1st downs, the highest in every offensive statistic, and you're asking your defense to pull up a stop. Now, even though they have done it before, you're really going to rely a lot on this drive. That was close. That was very close. And I think that was Peterson on the catch. The pressure came, and Culpepper really had to launch that one. And it worked. Because that was almost a 20-yard gain on that pass play. Less than 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Petra's really starting to love the fact that the clock is ticking down. Clock ticking down. Using it up a little bit. They'll go back to the running game. Spin moves and stiff arms. Aplenty for Adrian Peterson. That one spin move broke 2 players' ankles. And that's another 1st down for Peterson. I swear if Petra gets another 31st down. Petra's easily going to get 31st downs. If she gets more than 37 today, I'm going to be amazed. That is a lot. You can definitely tell that they're really starting to run down this clock, and the defense is getting antsy. The defense is really starting to get antsy. You can really tell that this defense is starting to get a little antsy at the tactics that this offense is pulling off right now, because the offense is really starting to try and use up this clock. because the clock is in Petra's favor, and since she has the ball, she's not going to risk any more turnovers. I mean, why would you? You're giving the other team a chance to score, especially if you score on this drive, which you have an opportunity to. Oh, what a hit. Maybe third down and short. If you score on this drive, you are up by a touchdown and more. So that would put you up in great opportunities to go into the finals, especially when you consider that Takeshi's only points that he's put up were his first 2 offensive drives, which were in the first quarter. Ever since then, like I said before 100,000 times already, it's been nothing but a struggle. Actually, it was second down and 5. Now it's another first down. I thought that last play was second down going into third down because of the fact that I forgot about the penalty. So now add in another first down. And I believe if they continue at this rate, we may see this drive enter the 4th quarter. Because again, I don't expect them to really try and be aggressive here, especially since they're in scoring range. Let the play clock run out just a tad bit, and then go for the kill. Oh. Pass that should not have been thrown. Especially considering the fact that you are also trying to... Well, I guess I can see it in the same sense. You still really need some yards here because you aren't very deep into enemy territory to score another 3 points. Give it to Peterson, who will gain about a few on that one. So I think that'd be 3rd and 8, I believe. Yeah, Peterson's definitely upped his game in the rushing since the last time we saw that statistic pop up. About less than a minute left. This next play will bring it down to less than a minute left in the 3rd. I think they're going to go passing here because of the shotgun formation. Usually when you see shotgun formation, they're going passing. Usually. Sometimes they do handoffs, which they do here for Peterson, but obviously that's not going to work. 4th down. I mean, they've kicked the field goal in this range before, and I would not be surprised if Mayer could kick this one out. The kick is up and good. That had range. But Mayer kicks a pretty long field goal, and that puts Petra up by, I think that right now this would be 9 points. So 9-point difference between these two teams, which means Takeshi not only has to go out on this offensive drive to score at least 3 points, but he also needs to do it again. But this entire game, they've struggled. They have completely turned upside down. They get a better run back this time than the last run back. But again, the story going into this drive is that they cannot keep repeating what their entire game has been like the entire time. Takeshi has come back from deficits before. However, he's really going to have to rely on the connection between Brady and Boston here, which they have not gone to that. They have not gone to that connection that much today. And when they have, it's worked to some results. A touchdown early in the game and a big pass play earlier in the game as well. Last play of the 3rd, picked off. And I think this one will be down at the 35, so give Petra a chance to up the score by 10, even more than 10 points. Petra's really starting to come alive now. Didn't take her long. Takeshi's defense can only do so much. Takeshi's offense couldn't even do anything for them. Passing deep, going for the kill early. Nearly caught. 6 total turnovers today for both teams combined. Considering that both defenses here aren't the greatest, like I said, that's kind of surprising, especially considering the fact that Petra only came into this game with no interceptions thrown, but now they've gotten a couple more under their belt. Give it to Peterson, who will gain only one on that play. And right after this game, we will determine who will meet. Potentially at this moment, it's going to be Petra. That could change, obviously. But at the moment, right now, it'd be Petra going into the finals, going up against possibly either Kylia or Malcolm. We'll find out in the later goings. So a 3-and-out here. I think that was a 3-and-out by Petra after the interception. 420 blazing yards for Petra's offense as of this moment. Which coming into this game, they had only about 1,300. So about 2,000 total yards. Petra is going to easily reach over 2,000 total yards if she makes it to the finals. Just saying. Field goal here to put them up by 12, I believe. And they get it. 2 straight drives for Petra. 2 straight field goals. Puts them up by 12. Still 2 touchdowns. Of a 2 touchdown difference here for Takeshi. But 1 more field goal. It's now 3. Oh, man. Not a very good game so far for Takeshi. Absolute clinic for Petra here. Fielded deep at the 2 there. And that was a bad return for Takeshi. Down at the 17. That is very rare to see that kind of a return. Let's see what this drive can bring. Any sort of luck? Oh, no, not to start. Brown with the Brown had the fumble earlier in the game, which where they were at probably would have been, I'm going to say, is the most detrimental play to this team. Because they had an opportunity to finally score some points for the first time since the first 2 drives. And that fumble basically dashed all those hopes. A batted down pass, so now 3rd down coming up. Not looking too good. Petra's defense looking mighty strong here, especially against Takeshi. Considering Takeshi's story coming into this game is not a very dominant story to be told, I shouldn't be surprised that Petra's been completely dominating him this entire game. Deep pass over the right. Incomplete. For 3-and-out for Takeshi once again. Desperate throw. Understandably so. Takeshi's story coming into this game is quite, I don't want to say sad, but it should have ended a lot of times. Takeshi came into the first round, exited the first round with a win that was so close, it came down to 1 play. Their defense literally bailing them out. So, yeah, 26 total first downs for Petra. I would not be surprised if she gets another 4 more easily. By the way, that punt was so bad, they're going to start in enemy territory. So last time that happened was the first kickoff of this game where Takeshi took it out to Petra's 45-yard line. That same drive they scored. Anyways, Takeshi won his first round game against Seth, literally by 1 play, a pick, an interception in the end zone. And Seth literally had the game right in his grasp. When that moment happened, that changed everything. Then in the second round game, Takeshi was up 33 points over Sonya. And he almost lost that game. Sonya came back and lost by only 3 points, I believe. 3 or 6 points. I have to look back again. But it was 1 touchdown separating the 2 teams as the final score. Now this game, Takeshi started off very hot with a 14-0 lead. And ever since then, it's been 26 as of this moment, unanswered points. Peterson makes a big run there, and that could possibly be another 3 points to make it 29 unanswered points. It's been a very, very bad day for Takeshi so far. And I doubt that's going to change, especially with Petra using the running game to her advantage to run down the clock, because I'm not seeing a lot of passing here so far in this drive. As soon as I say that, they instantly go back to the passing game. It almost worked. It almost worked. It makes me a little curious to see if we're going to see Petra take it on Malcolm in the finals. If that happens, then it is going to be quite a game. Another pass. That one was caught and held on by the receiver. That is a gain all the way up to about the 11. So I think that was a 15, 20-yard gain, I believe. I believe, if I remember correctly. Toss it to Peterson, who will lose a couple yards on that play. Jammer with 1 reception of the day so far. Like I said, the defense has tried to help out Takeshi as much as they possibly could. They're making Petra's offense run for their money, that's for sure. But they have not been able to completely seal the deal on offense. A short pass here. That'll be 3rd and short for the offense. It's kind of surprising to once again say that the connection between Brady and Boston, which has worked to perfection in the first 2 rounds of Takeshi's tournament, they have not gone with that a lot at all this game. They're going to be well short of the first down marker, but it doesn't matter because they're at their 2-yard line, so this is more of a chip shot than anything else. They'll bring it up to 29 points. 29 unanswered points for Petra. Now it's just getting to the point where it's getting a little out of hand here. Petra, again, just racking on the points. Just completely shoving Takeshi just to the ground at this point. Score is now over 15 points into her favor, and unless Takeshi has a miracle here in these next few drives, I don't think there's much to say, much new to say, I should say. Field at the 10, but they won't get much more than a 14-yard run back on that one, down at the 24-yard line. 3 and outs, interceptions, fumbles. If they kept up the momentum from their first 2 drives, this would have been much tighter. And any sliver of hope that this team has every once in a while, once again, we went back to the Boston thing, and look at that, 108 yards and a touchdown, which doesn't sound like a lot in the 4th quarter of this game. But when you consider the fact that Takeshi only has 14 points on the board, considering that is half of the work that Takeshi has done, they need to go back to that connection, because any of the other times they go with any other players, it has not worked. Or at least not as well as, well, Boston, of course. Any sliver of hope that this team gets every time they get a good start to the drive, something always ends up happening to completely derail that drive. Big pass play there, back into enemy territory. I mean, yeah, you would be fine with getting 3 points on the board this time around if you can, but you really need to go for 7. Especially since you have 6 minutes left in this game and you're down by 2 touchdowns, but you also need to get some points even after that at this point. He's looking deep. That fella complete, double covered. Probably would have been out of bounds anyway because it looked a little overthrown. Or at least right on the edge, I should say. So even if that was caught, that probably would have been out of bounds. He's just lucky that that wasn't intercepted for a 4th time today. 3rd time, actually. Because one of the turnovers is a fumble. Nice catch there. But doesn't get much more than 5 yards there, so it's going to be 3rd and short. I think they may be in field goal range if they keep it at this place, if they don't lose any yards on this next play. But they also shouldn't settle for 3. They need to go for 7. Oh, big pass. Ooh, that was big. Big 4th down. I don't know if they'll send the kicker out or not. I mean, you got nothing to lose. I'd risk it, but I think they may punt it. I think that's what they're doing. Nope, they are going for it. They don't want to go for 3, and I am not complaining about this call whatsoever because you are down by 2 touchdowns. You're getting desperate. Desperate man calls for desperate calls. Ooh, we got it. Got it on the curl route. You always go for a curl route as your first option when you go for a short pass play. Always got to, because if you don't, you're not trying to get a 1st down. It's either you go for a curl route on those short passes or you're going for the end zone. You cannot do anything in between. And they keep the drive continuing. And, oh, nearly threw it all the way there. I'm telling you, these stats are going to be crazy by the end of this round. I cannot wait to see the updated stats for this round. For the finals, I should say. Back pass over the right. I'm telling you, these defenders have their mans covered well. There's been a lot of batted down passes. Not a lot of drops, but just batted down passes. Do they go for it again on 4th down if they cannot convert here on 3rd down? I think they will because why not? But like, fuck. They'll be short here. 2 yards short. I'm not too sure what to call here if you go for it. Do you call for McAfee's run or do you call a short pass? Because nothing seems to be working at this rate on offense. And I do not expect a second miscommunication. Brady with the run. Miscommunication that actually worked in the favor of Takeshi there, because if that didn't happen, I don't think they would have gotten the 1st down. But Brady found a hole in the miscommunication run and made it work. So they made it work. So that's 2 4th down conversions for Takeshi, but they're only really hurting themselves by using up a lot of time. And I'll stop the clock there with 4 minutes left in the 4th. May find a few pass plays here trying to go onto the end zone, but again, with how covered every receiver is, your first option needs to be Boston. You better have that man wide open. McAfee with a run. He's got a lot of space and a touchdown. 19-yard run for McAfee, and that's Takeshi's first touchdown since the 1st quarter. So finally, Petra's points have been answered. We're going to go for 2 here, the obvious here, because you're down by 9. An extra point will put you down by 8. But if you get this here, you're down by 7. Give it to McAfee, who got it, and he gets it. So the double whammy for McAfee there, but it's actually a good double whammy, as not only did he get the touchdown, but he also got the 2 points to finally put Takeshi back in the game. However, they need to rely on their defense to completely stop Petra, which their defense has been completely worn completely out. At least in my eyes. Down at the 34, so Petra's going to have decent starting field position to start things off. Defense here for Takeshi has been worn completely out. I would not be surprised if you see the defense struggling to stop Petra at all. We'll go running here with Peterson. Finds a hole, spin moves, gets a first down, breaks 2 tackles in this play, and gets a big first down run there, which is what Petra needs. Because she's going to definitely use Peterson a lot here to run out the clock. You are going to have 1 2-minute warning, timeout, and 3 timeouts at your disposal. But at this rate, with how this drive is looking, you are going to be really needing to a turnover. Or else you're going to need to score 2 touchdowns again. Toss play. Stiff arms. Finds some space. Gets some space. Gets a good yards there. 144 total yards for Peterson today. Pretty average day, I would say, but also a good day. When I say average, I don't mean it in a bad way. Stops the clock, which may help Takeshi if they can stop him here, both on the 2nd and 3rd down. But, of course, they'll give it back to Peterson again. Gets first down. And I think that may be called back. It will be called back. That will be called back.
Offense. Loss of 10 yards.
So instead of 2nd to short, it'll be 2nd and 10. They may go back to the passing game here like they did on the first down play. We'll see what they call here. They've been using Peterson a lot in this drive already to try and use up the clock, which has worked. And they'll give it back to him again. And it gets about 7 on that one. Big gain there, so, but it's still 3rd down. Even if they give it to Hurst or Peterson on this next play, if they call for a run, short run here has been stellar for Petra. More than stellar, I should say. You know they're bringing the bodies up to the line of scrimmage. All 6, I think that's 6 men on the line. Now, how many of them are going to actually go to the running back? Who knows? They say they're going to run down the clock. Play clock, I should say. And give it to the fullback. We'll get a lot there, but most importantly, the first down. And at this rate, if you don't force a turnover, you aren't going to win the game, even if you get the ball back. And this will run to the 2-minute warning, so don't expect a play here out of this formation. Two more minutes left, and we may... I'm still going to say that it's Petra going to win this, unless a fumble occurs. But again, Petra coming into this game, even with the turnovers aplenty that have been today, Petra hasn't lost the ball in fumbles. Only once has she done that the entire tournament. Peterson, Hurst, the fullback, they all have pretty good hands. The defense is obviously going to call as many timeouts as they can, but one more first down practically gives the game away. But even then, it probably is still going to be, Petra's win because of the fact that she's at the 29-yard line of Takeshi. She's at Takeshi's territory, so all she has to do is just, even if she doesn't get the first down, which she will after that face mask call, so never mind.
Face mask on the defense, number 25.
Big loss there on the defense. So now at this point, it's just them running out the clock. Peterson with a big run. Another big run there. spin moves and all that sort of stuff. Good stuff there. 160 total yards for Peterson. No touchdowns today for Peterson, which is a very big surprise. The clock stopped. They're going to give it back to another first down there. I think that was Hurst on the carry. And they'll just run down the clock as, again, the defense had to stop them here, and they just could not. Because, like I said, the defense was getting worn out from all the amount of times that Petra's been back out onto the field. Because of the 3-and-outs, because of everything that's gone on. Takeshi's offense. He came to life at the worst possible time. Not enough time to get back the win. It's going to cost him a shot at the finals. And essentially, this all just comes down to Takeshi's offense not matching the same power as Petra's offense. And Petra's defense really trying to step up their game, and they do. Even with all the turnovers on offense, Petra was still able to survive what should have been a massacre with all those turnovers. But the reason why she survived is because Takeshi's offense just couldn't do anything the entire game. Anytime that Takeshi tried to do anything on offense, it just came down to late in the drive, they would force a turnover. They would get forced into making a mistake like a turnover, or they would just stall completely out at the worst possible place, which would be at Petra's like 40-yard line or behind. Really, this was Takeshi's game to win with three turnovers from Petra's offense. The most the entire tournament, because Petra came into this with only one fumble loss. Really, this should have been an easy win for Takeshi. But instead, it was more of an easy win for Petra, as with a couple kneel downs and a defensive stall, Petra's just going to walk away with barely a scratch on both ends of the ball. Score 29-22. Petra's moving on to the finals. Just like that. A game that was so easily winnable for Takeshi with the amount of interceptions. Just couldn't get the job done. You cannot make those kinds of mistakes in the third round. Peterson with the MVP of today, which was obvious. 516 yards, 323 passing yards for Petra. Definitely a very big game for that entire team. Lots of incredible action here in the early goings of the semifinals, I should say. The statistics go like this. Petra nearly doubled her entire total offensive yards. Almost doubled, I say, in the game. 516 total offensive yards. 323 out of that are from the passing game. And she came into the game as of this moment, before the game, I should say. She came in with only 580 total passing yards, so more than doubled that today. 32 total first downs for Petra in just this game alone, when she came into this game with 37. So she pretty much nearly doubled her first downs in this game, which is insane. 600 total yards for Petra, which almost doubled her total yards coming into today's game. Total yards coming into today's game, she had 1,300. She was 100 away from doubling that. Takeshi's total yards is 508, which is double. No, not, well, I should say half. Yeah, I should say half. So, but then the big thing is that both teams traded away the ball 3 times, which should have worked in Takeshi's favor, but didn't really happen, did it? Then the penalties. Petra came into today with 5 total penalties, which is tied with Kylia for the most penalties. And today put, or at least in this game, 2 more will be marked onto her. And Takeshi, who had tied with the least with Malcolm heading into today out of the 4 teams that we have left, he got 4 more. A lot of those were pretty bad penalties as well. Petra's moving on to the finals, but who will she be facing? That is what we'll find out here in just a few moments. This last game here. This game here is going to be quite interesting to see because I'll talk about that here in just 1 second. Okay. First, let's talk quickly about Petra in the finals. She'll be the away team again once more, so she'll be sporting the all yellow jerseys like before. She comes into the finals with a very highly offensive score compared to Kylia and Malcolm.